Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are here to create 4 more looks with the Lunar Beauty Laura Lee Los Angeles collab palette. This is the Full Fantasy eyeshadow palette. It is beautiful. I did already create 2 looks, so I will link that up in the cards if you want to check those 2 out. But I did create 4 more looks because I have really been enjoying this. This is a color story that I love. I really love the formula, and I thought it would be fun just to play with it some more. So that is what we are going to do today. I do want to let you know I mentioned my lip combo in each of the looks, but before each look, what you won't see is how I prime and get my eyes ready for shadow. So just so that you're aware, each time that I am applying, I am using the same primer. This is my Sigma eyeshadow base primer in Ignite, and then I do like to set my eyeshadow primer. So I've been going in with the Tempera shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I have in my Soft Glam palette. Otherwise, I'm going to stop chit-chatting. We have 4 looks to get through. This is going to be the last look. Why don't we go ahead, I'll zoom you in and we'll jump into the video. I almost forgot to introduce myself. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. If you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But now, why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, I am in a bit of a time crunch today, so we are going to get this look together quickly. We're gonna jump right in right here with Besties. And I am just taking my fluffy tapered blending E40 from Sigma. And this is going to be my transition shade. So I'm just going to take this and run it all through the crease. Not really trying to do anything special with it. I just kind of want to lay it down. I really want to use that fun Aries shade today. That's my plan. If you don't know, I am a teacher. I teach elementary school, 3rd grade. And so we have a couple new team members on my team at my school. And we're actually all getting together today. We have 2 girls who are new. And then there are 3 of us who have been on the same team for years together. So we thought it would be fun before we jump in with like school stuff to do something fun and really get to know each other. So that's what today is all about. It's gonna be like lighthearted. We're gonna go to lunch together and then we're going axe throwing. Never been axe throwing before, but there's a new pizza place by one of the girls on the team. And she really loves the pizza place, and then her brother told her about the axe throwing. So that is on the agenda for today. But I thought it would be fun to do a little makeup and film it, because why not? Okay, I'm using my Sigma switch, and this is my, what are you? E2 from Singe Beauty. And I want a fluffy brush because we are going in with this shade right here next to Aries in Lanny. And I'm getting a fluffy brush because what I'm gonna do is put this in the outer corner, but then I kind of want to bring it up into the crease. But like, I don't want it to be super pigmented, but it is a super pigmented shade. I might honestly just keep it more so in the outer corner here. Also, if you can hear my son, he's like a little cranky today, and I don't really know why. He's a pretty chill, calm kid, but he's a tiny bit cranky. Although we did just get back from a family vacation. It's a staycation. We went an hour north of where we live to this little resort, and it had water slides, it had a lazy river. My daughter loved it. She's 4. She's very into swimming. She actually takes swim lessons and just moved up to the next level. So she was super excited. So we did this little staycation, and it was a lot of fun. It was just my husband and I and our 2 kids. My mom lives with us. If you're like, why would you say it's just you guys? My mom lives with us, but she stayed home with the dogs. We went for 4th of July. And so it was a lot of fun. We went and saw fireworks there and stuff. This is going to be beautiful with that Aries shade. I think it's gonna be like a nice pop, but still more on the neutral end. Anyway, all of that to say, I guess this is going to be kind of chatty, all that to say that my son may be a little cranky just from being away from home. He's 11 months old now. He normally sleeps like in his own room, in his crib, but in the hotel room, luckily my husband, he was smart and he got a suite. And so my daughter and I were in the room and the door closed, but my son was in there too in his pack and play. And I feel like he could probably like hear us moving, you know, because like I could wake up and hear him moving sometimes. I'm sure he could hear us moving, so he might not have slept as well. Also, my allergies have been so bad, and now it's reminding me I forgot to take my Claritin this morning. Also, I just want to let you know, if you do have small hooded eyes like me, my eyes are very small and very hooded, the Singe beauty brushes are really nice. So my friend Angie created Singe, and she has these as a bundle. I don't believe you can get them individually. She has them as a bundle, but the nice thing is, I want to say it's like $55 and you get 5 brushes, which I feel like a lot of bundles are typically more expensive, at least the ones from brands that I love. Like, I really love Sigma and BK Beauty, but I think the Singe brushes are worth it if you have small hooded eyes. I mean, even if you don't, they're still worth it. But if you have small hooded eyes, look for these brushes. So let me show you. I took Besties again, but I also took a tap of Cloudy. And I'm just going to kind of use that to diffuse the outer edges here. Like so. Because Besties was our transition shade, but Cloudy will even lighten it up a touch. And we're just gonna make sure everything's blended. Okay, what I'm about to do, I'm using a different brush. Normally I use a pencil brush for my lower lash line, but my friend Angie, who created Singe, uses the EO1 for her lower lash line, and I feel like she uses the sides of it. I kind of want to try it. I'm a little bit nervous just because it's not what I normally do, but I'm going into Besties and tapping it off a bit. It's that lighter shade. It is on the edge. It is on the edge. And I just kind of want to use that. And then I am going to go in with Lanny also, but not on this fluffy of a brush. But I just thought I would try it. I know if you want to see these brushes in action, I mean, I use them a ton, but also if you go to Angie's channel, when she does tutorials and stuff, she uses her brushes, which I find very helpful, even as a makeup enthusiast and someone who loves makeup. I mean, you can use brushes however you want, anytime you get brushes, but it's very helpful for me, even as a makeup enthusiast, just to see like how she's using them. Because this one, I don't know that I would think to use it for the lower lash line, but it's actually nice because it puts it on there and then blends it out. Okay, going in with my BK204, again, Sigma switch. If you want anything from BK Beauty, K-Bella 10 saves you 10% off, and it's just K-Bella at Sigma will save you money off there. Going back into that Lanny shade, and this I'm just going to put in the outer corner of my eye, and then I'll go back in with that brush and Besties, the Singe brush, and just make sure it's blended out. I have small eyes, so I feel like putting it in the outer corner and then going in the waterline with like a light or cream eyeliner brightens up my eyes and makes them look a little bit bigger. Going in with my favorite brush for my lid shade, this is the BK203. This is a newer one. I have a few of these and they're definitely beat up. I think I have the travel size. Oh my gosh, I just threw it. The travel size and my other large one in my little container to be washed. But we're gonna go in with this Aries shade, and I am going to spray it with Fix Plus, and we are going to put that on the lid. I feel like it's gonna be beautiful because it's like a beautiful duochrome, like you probably can't even see, purpley blue. Super excited. Okay, so I'm just going to press this on the lid. It has such a beautiful, beautiful shift. It's like blue but purple. It reminds me of that blue-brown pigment from MAC that everyone went crazy over. But this one is a little bit more like blue-purple than blue-brown. And I am here for it. Even as a neutral lover, I'm here for it. One of the reasons why I love the 203 so much is because it is fluffy on the tip, so I can pack the shadow on, and then I take the tip and blend it up into my crease a little bit because, again, small-headed eyes. So it helps to blend it up and just make sure that it can be seen because I want people to see this beautiful eye makeup. Okay, so then I think for the inner corner, we're gonna go with this one right here, which is Full Fam. And pop it on the inner corner. Ooh, I don't know that it's light enough, honestly. So I'm gonna pop this on the inner corner, but I also think I am going to go in, usually on the inner corner, I like to go in with my ColourPop Super Shock and Flexitarian. I think I am going to go over it because this is almost a little bit too pink and makes me look a little sickly. So we're gonna go in with the ColourPop Flexitarian. I'm gonna do some mascara, pick a lip, and then I'll show you the finished look. Okay, so here is the finished look. I thought I was gonna do something different with the lips, but I didn't, you know, and that's okay. I took the Lunar Beauty Lunar Beauty Milk Tea Lip Liner and the Lanny lipstick that goes with this collection because I thought that it would be great with this eye look. This eye look is a little bit more colorful than I typically go for on like the day-to-day. So I thought this neutral lip would be great. I'm kind of sad. I love this makeup look, so I want to film like another video, but also we have somewhere to be. So I don't have time, but here is one of the looks. I don't know how many I'm going to create yet because this is the first one that I filmed, but here it is right here. Okay, so I think I want to use this shade today. I know I want to do something smoky right here, but because I have this purple shirt on, I thought I'd reach into this one. I did a look here. We used Aries in another look. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one. I might tap that on the lid a little bit. We'll see. Still so many options. Still feeling so inspired by this palette. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking my BK202 and I'm actually going to go into this brown shade right here, which is called What's Going On. And ooh, okay, it's a little bit deeper than I was expecting there with some pigmentation. But that's okay. We're going to put this in the crease. I am using a fluffier brush, definitely a very pigmented shade, but this is my BK202, which is fluffy, but usually it's a little bit more tapered. Mine looks like I've probably used it and made it a little bit fluffier than I was expecting. I actually have another 202. I'm gonna continue to use this one, but I don't feel like my other one is this fluffy. Yeah, see, these are both the 202. Yeah, these are both the 202, but this one is what I was expecting, and this one's a little bit fluffier, but that's okay. I'm gonna take this E33 by Sigma Detailed Diffused Crease. I don't know why that was hard to say. And I'm going to go into the shade Cloudy. I may tap into this one, Not My Vibe, a little bit, but mostly Cloudy. Let's try just Cloudy on its own first. Cloudy is good to blend out, but I do think I'm going to do Cloudy and then one tap into Not My Vibe and just kind of use this to blend out the edges here. I'm going to use this same brush and tap into the Not My Vibe. Put that on the lower lash line. Can you guys hear my son out there? Both my mom and my husband are out there playing with him, but he's kind of been more vocal lately. He is 11 months now, and he's been a pretty quiet, chill kid, but he's starting to come into his own a little bit. He's starting to definitely show preferences of, like, you know, anything food, toys, activities. Like if you're trying to change his bum and he doesn't want to be changed, he is going to let you know. but he's also become a little bit more vocal. So he's out there just screeching away. I am going to follow that up by doing a little tap into this What's Going On shade and just kind of putting that in the outer corner here, just to kind of mimic what we have going on the top. Again, because I do have small hooded eyes, I'm going to keep this just in the outer corner to create a little bit of depth, dimension, and a little bit of shape here. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with Peak and Pit right here, and I'm taking my Sigma Firm Shader E57. I am going to spray it with Fix Plus, and we are going to put this all over the lid. Peak and Pit is more of a sheen. So like some of these shades are very glittery, very glittery, very glittery, very good. Not glittery in a bad way, just like very like bright shimmers. This one is more of a sheen. That and Your Fave is more of a sheen. Sunny, Fool's Gold looks like more of a sheen. Social. So if you have more textured lids, fine lines, wrinkles, things you're not trying to accentuate, shades like that will be better for you than the shimmery ones that have like the flecks of glitter. But this is definitely a beautiful shade. I also feel like shades like this, Peak and Pit, honestly, you could do like one and done with these satin type shades, where if you just put this all over the lid, do this first all over the lid, and then take like a small fluffy brush and just kind of blend in the crease, you can get that like one and done type of shade. Then what I'm gonna do, this has no product on it, it's that first BK202 that we went in with, and just trying to blend that out a bit. This is pretty. Then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pinky and dip into this one right here, which is Full Fam, and just press this in the middle of my lid, just to kind of create a tiny bit of a spotlight or a little bit more like shimmer flecks right there in the middle. And then I'm taking the brush that I was using for the shimmer shade, and I'm just gonna kind of tap the edges lightly. I don't have a ton of lid space, so I don't wanna do a ton of blending. I do really wanna be able to see that shimmer shade, but at the same time, I like a little bit of like the depth and dimension. So I don't know, can you tell a difference? This one has Full Fam, this one just has Peak and Pit. So, depending on your preference and what you're looking for, you can decide to leave this part out if you want. I've wiped off my pinky from Full Fam, but I'm just gonna go into this Cloudy shade, which is a matte, and I don't typically do a matte inner corner, but I think I'm gonna go in with Cloudy and then the shade next to it in Your Fave and put that on top. So that's just with the Cloudy shade. My son is really just having a heyday out there. He's been a little bit cranky the last couple of days. You just never know with babies. So that is just the Cloudy. I am gonna take a little bit of Your Fave and just press it on top of the Cloudy. And it makes that Cloudy shade just look a little bit more like a satin finish. It takes Your Fave, which I feel like would be a tiny bit too dark on its own, and really lightens it up while giving a little nice hint of a sheen there. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I'm doing with the lip. I'm taking the ABH lip liner in Raisin, and I'm gonna take BK Beauty Grace, which is a nude, and kind of run that in the center. And the Raisin is gonna give it like a berry undertone, but because Grace is a nude, it'll kind of soften the berry a little bit. So that is what this combo looks like here. You could totally leave it here I honestly would. I love it like this. But if you want a little bit of gloss, I have my girl Heather Austin's collab with Unearthly. This is the Resurgence Gloss. And I'm actually going to take it on my finger, I think, and pat it. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. So here is the finished look. I think this look is beautiful. I really love this lip combo. I think it is a winning combo. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna for sure do one more look. This is the second look that I filmed. I'm for sure gonna do one more look, but we may even get two more. So let's jump into those. Okay, so for today's look, I think we're gonna play with these shadows right here, create something a little bit on the smokier side perhaps. So what I want to do is take my Lunar Beauty LBE 1 brush and I'm gonna dip into this like mustardy shade right here in Trivia. And my plan is to use that as the transition shade. You can see here, I just dipped in lightly, okay? I am not someone who dips in or like goes ham. And dipping in lightly, this is a very pigmented shade, which I love, but I may need to go in with something a little lighter to blend out those creases. Okay, so then I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna tap still into Trivia, but also a little bit into this shade right here, Cloudy, because I need something a little bit lighter to kind of blend out the edges, but I still want that like mustardy shade, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna try and use that to blend out the edges. This is the Detail Diffuse Crease E33. Okay, so then I'm going in with my A504 BK Angie Hot and Flashy, and we're gonna dip into this black shade right here. I don't often use black shades in my look just because I typically go for something a little bit lighter. So we're just going to put this right here in the outer corner. That's why I'm using a fluffy brush. If I wanted more pigment and if I wanted it a little bit deeper, I could go in with a more dense brush, but I want it to be a little bit more of like a smoky, lighter vibe. I am bringing it up a little bit just because I have small hooded eyes, so I want you to be able to see it in the crease, but I'm keeping it on like the outer half of my eye, and I still want you to be able to see that like mustardy shade. But oh my goodness, this blended beautifully. Back to this Detail Diffused Crease and that original Trivia shade, and I just want to make sure you can still see Trivia above that black shade. I want you to be able to see the black shade, but I do want Trivia to peek through. I'm listening to my daughter talking to my husband about this little boy that she's been calling her fiance. She doesn't say the word fiance, she says this little boy she's gonna marry. And now she just told him a different little boy is her boyfriend. And so my husband was like, well, what about the first boy? And she was like, no, he's gonna be my husband. This other boy's gonna be my boyfriend. And now she's talking more about kids at school. She's 4. She's 4. Okay, so I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It looks beautiful. It is the shade Virgo. I'm going in with my BK203, and I am going to spray it with Fix Plus. This picked up beautifully on the brush, so I'm gonna give it a little spritz, and I'm going to put it all over the lid, but I do want to keep like the deepness of the black in the outer corner. So I'm putting this on most of the lid, but I'm going to keep the very, very outer part blank, and we'll probably go in and kind of blend that way. And I'm taking it up into the crease just a touch. If I'm being honest, this shade is giving me exactly what I wanted it to give me. It's like this deep smoky vibe, but it's almost like this shimmer let me look at it close up. It's almost like bronze, but gold, but smoky black vibes. It's so multi-dimensional. It's exactly what I was hoping for when I was looking at it. If you are into a smoky eye, I think this would be a great like shade combo for you. Can you guys hear my son screaming in the background? Just living his best life. He has found his voice, so I feel like a lot of times when I'm filming now, we can hear him in the background. Okay, let's do some lower lash line work. I am taking the Singe Beauty EO1 and I'm using the side of it, and I'm gonna dip into that Trivia shade right here, and I'm gonna use the side of this brush, let me tap it off a little bit, to just kind of put this on the lower lash line, but also blend it out. I'm gonna just mimic what we have going on the top. I'm debating, I don't normally put shimmers on the lower lash line because I do have like fine lines and creases down there, and shimmers can accentuate texture, but I'm almost wondering if I should do the black in like the outermost corner and then do a little bit of that shimmer shade. I don't know, we'll have to see what I end up going with. Okay, so my camera battery died and I replaced it, but I forgot to put on some lip balm. My lips have been very dry lately, even though it's summer in Houston, but I took a little bit of my Too Faced Hangover RX Pillow Balm lip treatment. I meant to apply that so that my lips are a little bit more smooth when it does come time to put some lipstick on. I don't know what lip I'm gonna do, but I wanna do something different. I mean, I've been reaching into that Lanny shade and also the Lunar Beauty, I've been using like the Milk Tea liner and the Icon lipstick, but I feel like I need to switch it up a bit with my lip shades, you know, give everybody some love. We're gonna go into that black shade again, and I'm taking my BK204. This is called Break Time, and I'm just going to focus this on the outer part of my eye, and then you know what I might do. I might keep like this inner part, just that like mustardy brown shade, since I do have small eyes. I might take Virgo and put it on top of the black. I think we're gonna try that. I'm taking a little bit more of Trivia and just making sure this is nice and blended. I do want like a little smoky vibe going on here. Okay, then I am going to use that same BK204 and dip into that Virgo shade, and I do want to spray it. I have not been having fallout with this look, which is amazing, but I do just want to take Virgo, even though it's that shimmer shade, and kind of put it right on top of the black. It's very subtle, so I don't feel like it'll accentuate the texture too much, but it does tie what I have going on the top to the bottom. Here's what the look is looking like. I'm gonna go ahead and do some mascara, a little bit of liner, pick a lip, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay, so here is the finished look here. Now I honestly wanted like a very light nude lip, almost like there are two lipsticks that I decluttered. Dominate Cosmetics Pretty Natural, which she doesn't make anymore. That would have been a good one. And there was also like a nude one from the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea collection, like Beach Bum or something like that. Both of those would have been good, like a very light nude. That's what I wanted, but I couldn't find that in my collection. So we went deep and grungy, and I used the Artist Color Pencil from Makeup Forever in Endless Cacao. I topped that with this Natasha Denona Noah shade, which is very deep and grungy. And then I put a little bit of gloss from Lunar Beauty, and this is in the shade Moon. That gives us this look right here. Okay, so we are here to create the final look, and I believe this shadow is the only one that I haven't used. Sunny? I'm pretty sure. I mean, all of the others look like they've been used because this is now my 6th look with this palette. Still so many more I could do, but I think we're gonna plan to use Sunny here. So I want to start by taking my A503 Angie Hat and Flashy, which is just a big fluffy brush, and we're gonna go into this cooler toned shade next to it, which is called We're Back. And I am going to first stamp this in the crease and then blend it out. This brush is a little bit bigger than what I normally use just because my eyes are so tiny. But this is my container of brushes that need to be washed. I still dip in there, but I mean, listen, we're not at like a need for brushes here. I have plenty of brushes. That's why I was like, well, let me just dip into my collection. But that's why I'm saying this is a little bit bigger of a brush than I typically use, but we're gonna use it for the transition today. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is go into my Angie Hat and Flashy BK A504 and use my Sigma switch because I don't remember what shade I used this brush for, but we are gonna dip back into that Lanny shade. I think Lanny will be pretty with Sunny. I had to look back at like the first 2 looks that I did in my initial videos because I knew that I used like the golds and also this Lanny shade and the one next to it in Social to create like a deep look, but I didn't know, I couldn't remember if I combined like this Lanny purple shade with the gold that I want to do today. Going in with one of my Sigma E33 Detailed Diffused Crease brushes, and I am going to tap into this cloudy shade, which is just like the, you know, that lightest shade here, and I just kind of want to brush this over these edges, and I might even tap into a bit of We're Back and then a bit into Cloudy and kind of use those 2 shades to make sure we don't have any harsh edges. I do have small hooded eyes, so I do still want to see like both that Lanny shade but also the We're Back shade. I want to see them both when I open my eyes, so that's why I'm taking it pretty much up into the brow bone area. I don't normally use this for my lid shade, but I'm going to because it's here. This is the Lunar Beauty LBE 5. We're going to take that and some Fix Plus, and I am going to get this shade right here in Sunny, and I think I'm going to leave that like the outer 2/3 of the eye, not the inner. I'm thinking we might take girlies and put girlies on the inner corner, but we'll see. Here's that Sunny shade. I do have my brush sprayed with Fix Plus. And this is a very beautifully pigmented shade. Very beautiful. I think, yeah, I'm gonna put it on the majority of my eye. I'm just gonna leave like the tiniest little bit on the inner corner for girlies if I wanna put it there. I wonder how similar this is to Fool's Gold. Let me swatch them both. Okay, so this is the one I'm putting on the lid right now, and this is Fool's Gold, which is a little deeper. I almost put Fool's Gold on my eye. But it applies beautifully. It's very pretty. But there is a difference. At first I was looking at it and I was like, is there really a difference? No, there is. Okay, so I'm thinking about the inner corner here. This very like bright one is Mora, and then this one is Girlies. I think Girlies might make more sense. This one's like a brighter gold. I mean, they both would look nice, but I think what I'm gonna do is take the Girlies shade and just press it right here on the very inner part. And I'm taking the back of this brush. I don't have any product on here, but I'm gonna use that to kind of blend it out. I think what I wanna do is I just wanna get like a tiny bit right here, and then I'll blend it out. So the majority of what's on the lid is that Sunny shade. And I mean, this isn't really necessary, but I feel like it'll give it a little bit of a different vibe. Okay, I'm taking this Detailed Diffused Crease, gonna brush it off because we're gonna use this again in a minute. I almost forgot the lower lash line. I am going into a dirty pencil brush, Sigma pencil brush. Yeah, I don't have any clean ones over here. So we will use my Sigma switch. And I'm gonna go into the We're Back shade that I was using in the crease and just kind of run that on the lower lash line here. Okay, so back with that Sigma brush, I'm gonna go into the Cloudy shade by itself, which is a matte, and I'm gonna put this matte Cloudy shade on the inner corner, which is going to brighten it up. But then I think I'm gonna take Girlies and put Girlies on the inner corner too, but I think by putting Cloudy first, it might lighten Girlies just a touch, because that's what I did when I was using the Your Fave, and I feel like it worked out well. So then I'll just take Girlies on my finger and lightly tap that, and because of the Your Cloudy, it's not Your Cloudy, because of the Cloudy, it makes it a little bit lighter, but we do get some sparkle there. Okay, so here is the fourth and final look. I decided to do something different with the lips because y'all see my traditional lip combo over and over and over. So I went in with the BK Beauty Sweet Pea lip liner and one of their new lipstick shades in Gratitude, which is a little bit more of that purple mauve, deep berry purple mauve shade. So that is the lip combo that we have right here. I also have these super cute earrings in. I know you guys typically see my Kendra Scotts because I've mentioned before that we're in the process of moving, and so all of my jewelry is packed up except for those earrings. But when we went on the Creators and Friends trip, I can link my vlog if you haven't seen that, we did like a white elephant gift exchange, and Jen from Jen Loves Reviews brought these earrings and I got them. So it's from Red Mosaic Jewelry, and she mentioned that this was her favorite jewelry brand, and I think she said that it was handmade. So I will link them, I'll link their website in the comments in case you want to check it out, but those are the earrings. So that is it. Those are the 4 looks. Of course, I did have my other 2 looks, so now I have done a total of 6 looks with the Full Fantasy palette. I still feel so inspired. I still feel like there are so many more looks that I want to do, so much more that I want to play with this. I feel like there are maybe a few redundancies that didn't necessarily have to be there, but this is a larger palette, and overall I think it's a great take on neutrals with pops of color. You can get a little bit smoky, you can do a lighter look. There's just a great variety here, and overall I'm loving this palette. Okay, so I'm coming back. I've already filmed my whole Full Fantasy 4 looks video, but I wanted to come in because I was reminded in filming a different video that I have had a lot of questions comparing Nude Prism to Full Fantasy. Y'all know I am such a neutral girl at heart. I was super excited for the Nude Prism palette. I went and purchased it. I absolutely love this palette. I wore this palette for my 10-year wedding anniversary. This is a neutral lover's dream. I have been singing the praises of the Full Fantasy palette, and I have had people in my DMs, in my comments, comparing the two, saying if they could only get one, which one should they get? So just real quickly, I wanted to touch on these two, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts. I feel, I'm gonna try and hold them up together so you can see them. I feel like the formula is the same. Now, Full Fantasy is a collab with Laura Lee Los Angeles, and I have to say I am not familiar. Ugh, I'm nervous I'm gonna drop this. I'm not familiar with her. Oh, there we go, look, I did it. I am not familiar with her formula, okay? But these formulas feel very similar to me, especially the shimmer shades. Manny has these shimmer shades that have different like specs in there, and like they are in here in some of these shades. So looking at these two palettes, if you're trying to choose between one of the two, first of all, I love them both. Neutral lover, love them both. However, with Nude Prism, all of the looks that you're going to get are neutral. You can do deep and smoky, you can do light and airy, but it's going to be neutral. There's not going to be any color I mean, like you have a little bit of pink, a little bit of mauve, you got black, but very, very neutral. The cool thing about Full Fantasy is that it's mostly neutral, but you have some pops of color. You can get a very deep, shifty, smoky eye here. You have some purpley shades. This pink is amazing. Aries is a fun shade. You have bright golds. So if you are someone who wears mostly neutral, but you like to dabble in color, I think Full Fantasy would be great for you because you can still get neutral everyday looks, a couple shadows, and you're good to go. If you are someone who does not play with color, you're sitting here saying, well, I mean, I love this, but I'm not going to use Aries. I'm not going to use these deeper, oh, I just poked it, these deeper berry shades. I'm not going to use, you know, this smoky corner down here. If you feel like you're not going to use colors, then I think Nude Prism is a great option for you. If you're looking for like 2 shades, 3 shades max, Nude Prism is great for you. You have lighter mattes, deeper mattes, and shimmers, but if you do like to play in color, Full Fantasy. Do you need them both? Absolutely not. You don't need either of them. Do you need them both? No, you don't. But in thinking about if you could only purchase one, think about if you want strictly neutrals or if you do like to play with color, and I feel like that will help you make your decision. But whichever one you decide to get, I don't think that it's going to be a mistake because I think they're both amazing. I would love to know in the comments down below which of the 4 or 6 looks was your favorite. If I had to pick a favorite, I think that it would be the one where I used Aries. I think that one was my favorite. It's most out of my comfort zone, most unlike me, I guess, but also probably my favorite one. So let me know your favorite in the comments down below. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this one. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.